I was terrified. It was like she was looking straight through me.
Nature's deadliest organisms.
And then, sure enough, bam, this shooting pain comes up from my scrotum.
They hijack our bodies.
I had not seen anything like this before, nor do I anticipate I ever will.
Disable our immune systems.
I was pretty sure I was gonna die.
And eat us from within.
This monster is the stuff of nightmares.
For those infected, Heather and Jonathan Baker live in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm very much an extrovert. I love people. I love to be on the go, very busy.
I would say I'm a more introverted person. I like quiet time.
We're total opposites.
I think that's a big part of what drew us together.
Jonathan is an architect, and Heather is a stay-at-home mom. They have 3 children. 7-year-old Lennon, 3-year-old Ashton, and 3-month-old Skylar.
Lennon's really talkative. He's excited all the time.
Ashton is a spitfire. She loves to be a life of a party.
Skylar's a really happy baby.
Always laughing and smiling.
During the weekends, the couple enjoys exploring the city with their kids.
We'd go to the zoo quite a bit, and then finding new parks and new trails to go on. Just making sure we're all spending a lot of time together as a family.
But one December afternoon, the Bakers' happy routine is interrupted. Jonathan is at work, and Heather is getting ready to feed her youngest child, Skylar.
I sat down on the couch, and I noticed at that point that she did not seem interested at all in feeding. She was not latching on, and she was drooling quite a bit. She typically is a very good feeder. I just didn't know what was wrong.
Heather decides to wait a few hours before trying to feed Skylar again. But that evening, her daughter still won't eat. Heather then notices something else.
She started this really strange cry. Sounded almost like a cat's groan. So I called Jonathan into the room, and I told him I was really concerned.
I'd never heard her cry like that before. It was a weak cry. It was kind of a moaning. I thought maybe she's getting a little sick. I took Skylar's temperature, and it was normal, so I wasn't too worried.
After he checked her temp, I think it did calm me down. So we gave Skylar a bath that night. She went to bed like normal. There was no issues at all.
Later that night, Heather wakes up to hear Skylar crying again. Normally, this is a sign that her daughter is hungry. But Skylar still refuses to nurse.
It had been at least 12 hours, if not a little more, since she had last fed. I felt like she should have been screaming at us at that point to eat.
As Heather places her daughter back in the crib, she spots something alarming.
Her eyes were really glazed over and dazed, and it was like she was looking straight through me.
Heather calls Jonathan into the nursery again, and he tries to get a response from Skylar.
I pinched her leg, trying to move her around, trying to get her to respond in some way. When she didn't respond, I knew something was really wrong.
I felt like Skylar definitely needed to go to the hospital, and I called 911.
A short time later, the paramedics arrive at Heather and Jonathan's house. But as they're checking Skylar, something unexpected happens.
Skylar seemed to be more alert. I definitely was relieved when she woke up, but I still was really concerned for her. Her vitals were all normal. So at the time, the paramedics felt like she was okay. They did not want to take her to the hospital.
They didn't really seem concerned at that point. Nothing seemed wrong according to their examination.
I knew that something was really wrong. I did explain to the paramedics that she had been non-responsive before this. So I just demanded at that point that they take her down to the children's hospital. This was one of those moments where I felt like, as a mom, they needed to listen to me and get her to where she needed to be.
The paramedics finally take Skylar to the hospital. But by that time, the little girl's condition has worsened.
She had become really lethargic again and was going in and out.
Skylar's case is taken on by pediatrician Dr. Latoya Oglesby.
So when Skylar first arrived at the emergency room, she was lethargic, appeared to be dehydrated. The first step was to give her IV fluids.
But when the nurses try to insert the IV, something doesn't feel right.
She wasn't even flinching or crying or anything at all. This was really crazy, 12 to 24 hours before she was totally normal.
Doctors take a round of blood and urine samples.
She'd had a multitude of tests run, and the results were all negative.
They decided to admit Skylar into the hospital because at this point they still were unsure what was going on. How can they save her if they don't know what's wrong?
The next morning, doctors ask Heather to try nursing Skylar to test how responsive she is.
But then when I was trying to feed her, I noticed that she actually seemed like she couldn't swallow the milk. It would just start drooling outside of the mouth.
When Dr. Oglesby investigates the new symptom, she discovers something alarming.
I looked into her mouth and noticed that she did not have a gag reflex.
A gag reflex is an involuntary contraction of the throat, triggered when an object touches certain areas of the mouth. The reflex is critical in helping to protect the body from choking.
Without a gag reflex, I was concerned that she would not be able to protect her airway and not be able to breathe. So at this point, I became very scared for Skylar.
Doctors transfer Skylar to the intensive care unit.
I felt like my baby was slipping away.
It's hard to see her baby hooked up to all the machines. She was barely hanging on.
I felt like she was going to die.
3-month-old Skylar Baker is in the ICU struggling to breathe. And doctors are in a race against time to discover why. One theory is that something is affecting Skylar's muscles.
So the next test ordered was an electromyography.
Electromyography, or EMG, is a diagnostic procedure to assess the health of muscles and the nerve cells that control them.
It checks the electrical activity of the muscles to figure out if it's a nerve problem or muscle problem.
The EMG confirms there is a problem with Skylar's nervous system.
It was the reason that she did not have a gag reflex. It was causing paralysis of her muscles.
Because of Skylar's lethargy and poor feeding, doctors suspect a particular strain of bacteria could be responsible. To confirm its presence, they conduct one final procedure.
So we sent a stool sample to be tested.
I was just praying that they would find out what was wrong.
The results of the test showed Skylar had infant botulism.
Infant botulism is a rare but serious condition caused by exposure to the bacteria Clostridium botulinum. Inside Skylar's body, spores of the bacteria colonize along her gastrointestinal tract. There, they release powerful neurotoxins that bind to her nerve cells, incapacitating Skylar's muscles, leading to her difficulty breathing, inability to nurse, and limpness.
When I heard she had infant botulism, I didn't know exactly what it was.
I really didn't know what was going to happen, what that meant.
What makes the Clostridium botulinum bacteria so deadly is its neurotoxin. It's one of the most lethal substances found in nature. A trace amount is enough to kill an infant. And up to 1 in 10 victims who contract the bacteria will not survive.
Doctors give Skylar a special antitoxin in the hopes it will save her life.
After she received the medication, it was just a waiting game at that point.
For 2 days, Heather and Jonathan hold vigil by Skylar's bedside.
It seemed like maybe the medicine wasn't working. It just felt like she was continuing to get worse.
Then, something remarkable happens.
I was with Skylar. She opened her eyes. Light was in her eyes.
Doctors are cautiously optimistic that with the antitoxin, the effects of the botulism bacteria are contained. But as they wait for Skylar to fully recover, they're left to wonder how she contracted the disease in the first place.
Infant botulism occurs when babies under the age of 1 ingest Clostridium botulinum spores. One potential source is honey, but the spores can also be found in soil and even in dust. It's rare, but it is possible that near construction or agricultural sites, contaminated soil could be disturbed, putting young children at risk of inhaling harmful spores.
We live in an area where there's definitely a lot of construction and they're building constantly. I would often walk Skylar to different nature trails or sometimes around our neighborhood. So there was a good chance she could have inhaled a spore in any of those areas.
A week later, Skylar regains enough strength to be sent home.
Time went on, she just kept getting stronger and stronger.
And today, Skylar has made a full recovery.
It was just a great relief. We're excited that she could gag again, which was, a strange thing to be excited about, but that was huge for us.
Cases of infant botulism are extremely rare. On average, fewer than 100 are reported in the U.S. each year. Many cannot be prevented because the bacteria that causes infant botulism is found in soil and dust. However, the CDC recommends you not give honey to infants under the age of 1.
But while some monsters hide in plain sight, others lurk in places far more discreet.
And then, sure enough, bam! I have this horrible, horrible pain.
Mark and Brenda Johnstone live in the small town of Bayou Vista, Texas.
First time I saw Brenda, man, she just lights up the room. From that day, I knew that's gonna be my girl.
Mark means the world to me. He's a very loving husband, and he's very appreciative of anything I do. He likes my cooking, so.
Together, Mark and Brenda run a computer repair shop. And when they're not working, the couple enjoys exploring the world.
Our travels have taken us all over Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, many places in Mexico.
We both like to be outdoors a lot. And Mark, he loves to fish.
Throw the fishing lure out there is my way of relaxing. It's wonderful.
But one warm December day, Mark's peaceful life is turned upside down. After a full day of fishing off the Texas coast, Mark is returning home.
Sun was going down, beautiful night. And then I got this weird kind of tingling feeling down there in my scrotum. kind of numbing and kind of itchy. It was a sensation that I've never really felt before. But thought, well, maybe my shorts are too tight, or who knows. So, didn't think anything of it.
A few days later, Mark and Brenda are out doing some Christmas shopping.
It was that time of year. She's looking at some gifts to buy, and I'm just kind of disinterested, looking at other stuff. And I get this weird little pain again, and all of a sudden, this thing went from a little tingly numbness to some biting pain. And I'm thinking, holy smoke, what in the heck is going on?
Mark Johnstone had been experiencing a niggling sensation in his groin, but now suddenly it's turned into a stabbing pain.
And it just rushed into my scrotum. It was so sharp, it's kind of like I jerked my arms around and knocked the dang shirt off of the rack.
I noticed something fly off the rack, and I turned around, and Mark is flailing around. And I thought that maybe it was just being one of his clumsy episodes that he normally has, and he just tripped over something.
I just kind of put the clothes back up on the rack. I hustled into the restroom, dropped my drawers just to see what the heck's going on. Just kind of felt around it. By now, the pain had stopped. I'm thinking it's just a cramp or something that just happens to guys. So I didn't say anything. Found Brenda in the checkout line, and we went on home.
Two nights later, Mark is lying in bed with Brenda asleep at his side.
Just watching the late show. That shooting pain comes up. It just makes me twist, fall on the floor.
I was awakened by Mark. He had fallen off the bed. I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Finally, Mark tells Brenda about his bouts of pain.
He looks at me like, let me see what's going on. That just doesn't sound right.
So I kind of started looking around. And then finally, lifting everything up, I looked down at the bottom, and that's when I spotted it. Red raised bump, and there was a small opening where there was liquid coming out. It looked like a very bad bug bite.
Well, okay, that makes sense. It's just an infected mosquito bite. I can handle that.
I thought for safety's sake that he really should go have it checked out. Mark's very stubborn when it comes to going to the doctor. So he was very reluctant, but this was ridiculous.
The next day, at Brenda's urging, Mark visits the family physician.
The doctor started to examine me. Says, well, looks like something's infected down there. He said it was just an infected ingrown hair.
An ingrown hair occurs when a shaved or tweezed hair curls back into the skin. If untreated, it can cause inflammation and produce painful boil-like bumps. The doctor prescribes antibiotics to treat the infection.
When the doctor said that he thought it could be an ingrown hair, I thought that was kind of unusual that that would cause that much pain.
Still, Mark decides to try the treatment. Over the next few days, he takes the medication. But one evening at the shop, his condition takes a turn for the worse.
I felt that tingling sensation again, and I went to scratch, and when I did, I noticed something was different. There was something moving around. Like if you had a caterpillar or something crawling around. Holy smokes, there's something alive inside my scrotum.
Mark Johnstone has been suffering from excruciating bouts of pain. And now he's just felt something moving inside his body.
There was something crawling around inside my scrotum. And after the movement stopped, sure enough, there came the shooting pain. Just knocked me on the floor.
I heard this crash, so I ran to the back to see him. Mark's moaning and rolling around in pain. I was very scared. I was very scared for Mark.
I think there's something crawling around in my scrotum. Maybe I am going crazy.
Mark is finally forced to face the reality that something is invading his body. So he makes an emergency appointment with urologist Dr. Gabriel Rodriguez.
So in examining Mark, the first inspection I could see what seemed to be a mosquito bite type of lesion. I knew we needed to move into a procedure room to get further analysis of what was happening. "30 minutes later, Mark is prepped for surgery. Brenda stays by his side for support.
The doctor's just cutting for what seems like an eternity, and I began to wonder, is this worse than what I thought? Is he gonna amputate my scrotum?
Is it something the doctor's not telling you? Is he gonna die?
And he says there was something in there moving around. He says, oh my God, it's alive.
Something was burrowing itself into the scrotum. I had not seen anything like this before, nor do I anticipate I ever will. Mark had botfly larvae in his scrotum.
Botflies are a family of winged insects indigenous to Central and South America, known for gestating their larvae inside the bodies of mammals. In Mark's case, the maggot burrowed into the skin of his scrotum. Once inside, it feeds on blood and tissue and grows in size. To prevent itself from being pulled out, the maggot hooks a set of jagged spines into the flesh of Mark's scrotum, leading to his raised lesion and stabbing pains.
I couldn't believe that this thing had been crawling around inside me for weeks. It really was creepy.
Botfly larvae have been known to grow to nearly an inch in length and can embed anywhere on the skin. They typically enter through the arms, legs, or scalp, but in extremely rare cases, they have been found in the genitalia.
This maggot that we removed was about the size of a chickpea. To our knowledge, this is the very first case of botfly scrotal infestation in the United States.
So how did botfly larvae get into Mark's scrotum?
When the female botfly is ready to lay its eggs, it ambushes a mosquito mid-flight and then glues its eggs to the insect's underside. Then, when the mosquito lands on a human, the eggs fall onto the skin and body heat causes them to hatch into larvae. The botfly larvae then burrow into the skin and feed on the human blood and tissue.
Brenda and I visited Costa Rica around Thanksgiving. So I'm changing clothes, but it was out there in the jungle. The mosquitoes were terrible out that night. That's probably where I got bit.
Botfly infestations are rare. Each year in the U.S., only a couple of dozen cases are reported, and they're among people returning from endemic areas in Central and South America. However, to help avoid the botfly larvae, travelers are advised to cover exposed skin and wear DEET-based insect repellent.
Today, Mark is pain-free and back to enjoying his life with Brenda.
I think this little adventurous episode brought us closer together.
As far as our travels go, we're just as adventurous as we ever were. However, we do bring along a little more insect repellent.
Monsters that invade our bodies are terrifying. And when some attack, they can pose a mortal threat.
I didn't know what was happening to me. They are letting me die.
Ann Ziegenhorn and her husband Joel live in Shalimar, a small town on Florida's Panhandle.
Joel was a bartender and DJ at a nightclub that I used to go to with a friend. And he made me laugh, made me feel pretty too, because he was always flirting with me.
She was strikingly beautiful. She walked in the bar that I was working at and just lit up the room.
Joel works as a scrub nurse in a hospital, and Ann is a dental hygienist. But her real passion lies elsewhere.
When I was in junior high, I went to a modeling class, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I love walking the runway. I love getting in front of the camera.
Together, the couple has 2 children, 14-year-old Leah and 12-year-old Aiden.
We're a very close family. I'll take the kids anywhere, everywhere. I'm the cool mom.
But an unforeseen threat will push this family's bond to the limit. One evening, Ann and Joel are preparing for a night out together.
I was trying on an outfit for us to go out to dinner. Started to put the clothes on, and my button's a little tight. So I was just kind of like, how did that happen? Immediately got on the scale. The scale said I had an extra 4.5 pounds on me. I modeled swimwear for local stores, and I had to just always look my best.
Ann resolves to pay closer attention to what she eats. But after a week of dieting, her efforts are in vain.
I'd gotten on the scale, 10 pounds. So it went from 4.5 to now I'm 10 pounds over. There should be no reason for me to gain weight. I should actually be losing weight.
Ann asks Joel for his opinion.
I could tell that she was getting a little bit bigger. I told her she was cheating. I figured she had some Snickers hidden away or something.
I started to get defensive because I have not cheated. I have been doing everything perfectly.
I said, it's not a big deal. We'll just have to walk farther on the beach next time. Nothing to get upset about.
But over the next 3 months, Ann gains a further 15 pounds, and the additional weight starts to affect her modeling.
I felt like I looked bad in a bikini. Modeling was part of my identity, and I couldn't do that anymore.
Reluctantly, Ann pulls out of the job.
I was very embarrassed by this. It was very hard. I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Ann is disappointed. But before long, she'll face losing far more than just her career. Over the last 3 months, Ann Ziegenhorn has put on more than 20 pounds, and she has no idea why. Then one morning, she is shocked by a new development. Ann is in the kitchen when her daughter hands her a form to sign.
I'm looking at the papers. The words looked like they were all blurred together.
She starts squinting and holds the paper closer and was muttering how she couldn't read it. I started getting a little concerned, like, my mother's always been okay, what's happening? Why can't she read a simple paper?
concerned by her sudden loss of vision. The next day, Anne visits her physician.
The doctor did a full exam on me and did a general blood panel test. Based on the test results, she diagnosed me with hyperthyroidism.
Hyperthyroidism is a condition that affects the thyroid, a gland in the neck that regulates the body's metabolism. Symptoms can include fatigue, blurry vision, and in some cases, weight gain.
She was going to put me on some medication for the hyperthyroid. My vision should straighten out, my weight should come off. I was very hopeful that this thyroid issue is the answer.
For several weeks, Anne takes the medication, but she still suffers with blurred vision and continues to put on weight. Then, one day, Anne is at work at the dental practice when she is struck by a mysterious sensation.
I was working on a patient, and I noticed that my thumb was stiffening up.
To Anne's horror, the pain steadily gets worse.
It felt like the pressure from bending my thumb at that knuckle radiated up to my elbow. And it was a very sharp burning sensation. I picked the air water syringe up again to rinse my patient, and the instrument just flies out. I was mortified. I was like, I am so sorry. I'm thinking, this is not normal. I've got to get this figured out.
Anne consults with several doctors who run multiple tests before she's finally diagnosed with lupus. Lupus is a chronic condition that causes the immune system to attack healthy tissue. Symptoms can include joint pain, blurred vision, and weight gain.
He said, I'm going to put you on this medication, and you're going to start to feel better.
However, over the next year, Anne experiences severe bouts of blurry vision, crippling pain in her hands, and gains 30 pounds.
I was very frustrated. A year goes by. I see doctor after doctor after doctor. Nobody can pin all these pieces together. They're telling me that I'm crazy. We don't know what to do with you.
And it's not just Anne's health that's being affected. A lack of answers starts taking a toll on her family.
Every day there was another symptom. If there's no explanation that the doctors can come up with, I was beginning to wonder about her mental stability. I didn't think she was that sick.
He's just thinking, you were just making stuff up. Made me feel like crap.
Anne is left to battle worsening pain in her hands alone. Then, one morning, she wakes up to discover her condition has spread.
I get up to go walk to the bathroom, and as soon as I go to stand, I fall. So I tried to pull myself up on the bed with my elbows, and then I fell right back down. My legs aren't working. I didn't know what was happening to me. I thought, no one's getting this. They are letting me die.
Anne Ziegenhorn is suffering from a mysterious illness. It's affecting her weight, her eyesight, and now her ability to walk. Over the next few months, Anne visits multiple doctors, but no one can explain what's wrong. Then, Anne experiences a strange new sensation. From having pain in her arms and legs, she feels something in her chest.
I noticed something wrong with my breasts.
15 years earlier, at the start of her modeling career, Anne had breast augmentation.
I had one breast larger than the other, and I was a little self-conscious, so I ended up getting breast implants.
But now it appears something is wrong with her implants.
That was alarming to me, very alarming.
Anne makes an emergency appointment with a specialist surgeon in Atlanta, Dr. Susan Kolb.
Anne came in with complaints of discomfort, pain. She had neurological problems, and she was very ill. On physical exam, one breast was much smaller than the other.
For Dr. Kolb, it's a sign that one of Anne's implants has ruptured.
Because she was so ill, I felt that she should have surgery right away.
Dr. Kolb takes Anne into the operating room.
I made an incision and I pulled out the deflated implant.
And what she finds is startling.
The implant had fluid in it that was a brownish color. We can see things inside the implant that aren't supposed to be there, things that are floating. And I knew there was a problem.
Dr. Kolb removes both implants and sends them to the pathologist for testing. When Anne wakes up from surgery, Dr. Kolb delivers the disturbing news.
Based on the pathology, we were able to confirm that Anne's implant was filled with aspergillus.
Aspergillus is a group of molds found in various climates worldwide. Inside Anne's breast implant, spores of aspergillus are reproducing. As the colonies grow, they release powerful toxins that are poisoning her body, leading to her weight gain, blurry vision, and numbness.
I had never heard of aspergillus. I didn't even know what it was.
Typically, women develop the sensory problems first, which is pain, numbness, and tingling. But then as the disease progresses and is more severe, the motor problems occur. And in many cases, the women end up in wheelchairs.
One of the things that makes aspergillus so dangerous is that once it's inside the body, it's incredibly hard to detect. That's because the aspergillus spores spread quickly and trigger a wide range of symptoms that can be easily mistaken for far less serious conditions. But untreated, the fungus can eventually infect major organs like the lungs, kidneys, and brain, and in some cases can be fatal.
I was pretty sure I was going to die.
I felt guilty. I said I was sorry for not believing you. I was scared for her. She was really, really, really sick. I didn't want to lose my wife.
And to make matters worse, neither Anne nor Joel know how the fungus got inside Anne's implant in the first place.
Aspergillus spores thrive in warm, dark, moist environments like air conditioning units, composts, and damp or flood-damaged houses. Most people can inhale aspergillus spores without any serious harm. But for those with weakened immune systems, the spores can take hold. And inside the body, if they find the right conditions, the spores can quickly multiply.
Doctors believe Anne inhaled aspergillus spores into her lungs. From there, they entered her bloodstream and into her implant through the faulty valve. The implant provided the perfect environment for the spores to grow, and as they did, toxins leaked back out through the valve, poisoning Anne's body.
I do live in the South in a climate where there's mold, and I may have breathed something in.
Dr. Kolb starts Anne on a powerful antifungal treatment plan.
Most patients require 4 to 6 months of antifungals, and you have to rotate them because the fungus will get resistant.
For the next 2 years, Anne takes a wide range of medication. Today, it's been 5 years since Anne contracted aspergillus, and she is still recovering from her ordeal.
I'm 75 to 80% better than what I was. The swelling of the joints and the joint pain, gone. And I only just got my vision back to a normal range.
But the experience has had one positive impact.
It has built our marriage to be much stronger than what we ever could have imagined.
I am proud of my wife. She's quite the fighter.
Each year in the U.S., more than 300,000 women undergo breast augmentation, and up to 1 in 5 of those implants will fail within 10 years. It's strongly recommended that women with implants experiencing medical problems consult their physician to have their implants checked.
Have you ever wondered why some people seem to earn instant respect, foster deep trust, and maintain calm relationships, while others struggle with constant misunderstandings and hurt feelings? In this video, we'll explore how the words you choose, the secrets you keep, and the silence you embrace can profoundly influence your life. Stick with us until the very end, and you'll discover not just how to avoid careless mistakes in your daily interactions, but also how to create an environment where honesty, empathy, and inner peace thrive. By watching this video in full, you'll learn practical ways to protect your well-being, nurture the bonds you share with loved ones, and ultimately enjoy a more harmonious, meaningful life. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Do not speak about private matters that aren't yours to share. Never speak of private matters that are not yours to share. It is one of the simplest yet most profound rules of respect. Everyone cherishes their private sanctuary, a haven that goes far beyond walls and roofs. This space isn't just physical. It's an intimate, sacred corner of the heart, where thoughts, dreams, and vulnerabilities are kept. To trespass into this realm without permission is to shatter the very trust that binds relationships. Think of private matters as a protective cloak, much like clothing shields your body. These secrets and personal stories are not just words. They are pieces of a person's soul, wrapped tightly to guard against the harsh judgment of the world. Imagine, for a moment, how you would feel if your deepest fears or treasured memories were carelessly handed over to others. It would hurt, wouldn't it? A violation of trust cuts deeper than words can express. Others feel that same pain when their confidence is betrayed. When you choose to keep someone's private matters safe, you are not only preserving their dignity but also cultivating a profound sense of trust and mutual respect. Trust is fragile, like a delicate glass ornament, easily broken but incredibly difficult to restore. Revealing someone's secrets might seem insignificant at the moment, but the aftermath is often irreversible. The loss of respect, damaged relationships, and the lingering stain of dishonor. On the other hand, protecting someone's confidence is a gift you give not only to them but also to yourself. It reflects a maturity and grace that few possess. There is beauty in silence, in choosing to step back and let others guard their own stories. This quiet strength has a way of coming full circle, often bringing blessings into your own life when you least expect it. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Will you honor the trust placed in you and show the depth of your character, or will you risk losing something far more valuable than fleeting gossip? It is a decision that defines who you are and what kind of relationships you want to nurture. Let respect guide your actions, and you will build bonds that stand the test of time, radiating the quiet beauty of true integrity. 2. Do not speak harsh words in anger. When anger takes hold, it often feels like a storm raging within, pushing us to say things we don't truly mean. In those moments, our words can become razor-sharp, cutting deep into the hearts of those we care about. Harsh words spoken in anger may provide a fleeting release for the speaker, but for the one on the receiving end, they can leave lasting scars, wounds that may never fully heal, no matter how much time passes. Think about it. Have you ever unleashed words in the heat of anger, only to feel a pang of regret later? I have, and the guilt that follows is like carrying a stone in your heart. The memory of the hurt you caused lingers, making you wish you could rewind time and take it all back. But words, once spoken, cannot be unspoken. They carry power, permanence, and the ability to either build or destroy. This is why, in moments of anger, the best response is not to speak at all. It takes immense strength to hold your tongue when every part of you wants to lash out. Yet, silence in anger is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of wisdom. Remaining silent allows the storm inside you to pass. It gives you time to breathe, to reflect, to let logic reclaim the space that emotion momentarily overwhelmed. Silence can feel unnatural in those moments, but it is a gift to yourself and those around you. A shield that protects relationships and your peace of mind. Anger is fleeting, but its consequences can be permanent. Relationships that took years to nurture can be shattered in seconds by words spoken in haste. Silence, on the other hand, allows us to pause, to preserve what truly matters. I've learned this the hard way, through moments where I said too much, too quickly, and was left to pick up the pieces of a connection I had unintentionally harmed. I've also experienced the transformative power of restraint, where choosing silence over reaction helped preserve harmony and understanding. The next time anger surges within you, resist the temptation to let it speak for you. Take a deep breath. Let the heat cool. Remind yourself that words hold immense power. They can heal, but they can also harm. By choosing silence in the face of anger, you're not only protecting those around you, you're also protecting yourself from the regret and heartbreak that often follow. Silence isn't just a pause. It's an act of love, compassion, and emotional courage. 3. Do not hastily judge another person's character. In our daily lives, it's almost second nature to form judgments about others based on what we see, hear, or assume. But how often do we pause to consider if what we know is the full picture? There's a profound truth in the saying, you cannot understand another person's story unless you have walked a mile in their shoes. And yet, how rarely do we take that walk, or even attempt to imagine it? This idea is vividly illustrated in a story that resonates deeply with the human experience of judgment, loss, and empathy. One quiet afternoon, a doctor hurriedly put on his white coat and made his way to the hospital for an emergency surgery. The call had come unexpectedly. He wasn't scheduled to work that day, but the boy on the operating table was critically ill, and time was of the essence. In the waiting room outside the operating theater, the boy's father paced anxiously. His worry quickly turned into frustration, and frustration into anger, as he waited for the doctor to arrive. When the doctor finally appeared, the father lashed out. "Why did it take you so long? Don't you realize this is a matter of life and death? Saving my son's life is more important than whatever you were doing at home." The doctor, maintaining his composure, replied gently, "I'm sorry. Today was not my day to be on call, but I came as soon as I was contacted. Please try to stay calm while I prepare for the surgery." But the father, blinded by fear and pain, wasn't ready to listen. Stay calm? Would you say that if your son were on the operating table? How could you possibly understand what I'm going through? If you were in my shoes, you'd know the terror of losing someone you love. The doctor said nothing. He simply turned and entered the operating room. 4 hours, he worked tirelessly, performing the delicate surgery that would ultimately save the boy's life. When he finally emerged, his face was pale with exhaustion, but he offered the father a faint smile. "Your son is out of danger now. Thank God for his mercy," he said. "If you have further questions, the nurse will assist you." Without waiting for thanks, the doctor left as quickly as he had come. The father's anger, though less intense, still simmered. "How arrogant," he muttered. "He saved my son, but he didn't even have the decency to explain more. How can someone be so cold?" Hearing this, the nurse standing nearby could no longer hold back her tears. "Sir," she said, her voice trembling, "the doctor lost his only son in a car accident yesterday. Today was the funeral. But when we called him, he left the service immediately to come here. Now that the surgery is done, he's returned to mourn his child." If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The father was stunned into silence. His anger dissolved, replaced by a wave of shame and sorrow. How cruel his words must have been to a man quietly bearing such a heavy burden. He realized, too late, that he had mistaken composure for indifference and duty for detachment. In truth, the doctor's actions had been nothing short of heroic, putting aside his pain to save another's child. This story carries an essential lesson. We can never truly know what lies behind someone's actions, their words, or their silence. Every person carries unseen battles, hidden sorrows, and private struggles. Judging them based on fleeting interactions or superficial impressions only reveals our lack of understanding. In moments like these, how much better it would be to offer patience, kindness, and the benefit of the doubt. When we judge others hastily, we not only risk causing them deep pain, but we also deny ourselves the opportunity to grow in empathy. Imagine for a moment if we stepped into their shoes. Would we have their strength, their grace under pressure? Would we carry our burdens as quietly and courageously as they do? Likely not. Instead of rushing to criticize, let us learn to pause. A kind word, a moment of understanding, or even silence can be a balm to wounds we cannot see. Hasty judgments, on the other hand, can leave scars that may never heal. Compassion and respect are among the most valuable gifts we can give, and the world would be a kinder place if we offered them more freely. So, the next time we're tempted to judge someone, let us remember this story. Let us consider what might lie beneath their actions and choose to respond with gentleness instead. In doing so, we honor not only them but the humanity we all share. 4. Do not use words that damage someone's honor. Words hold immense power. They can build bridges or burn them to the ground. They are like seeds, capable of growing kindness or breeding resentment. When used maliciously, words can pierce a person's soul, leaving scars that may never fully heal. More than that, harsh words reveal not strength, but a painful lack of grace and character in the person speaking them. They echo an inner insecurity, a desperate attempt to feel superior by belittling another. But in the end, they achieve nothing but hurt for both the speaker and the listener. When you choose to attack someone's honor with cruel words, you strip them of their dignity while tarnishing your own. The respect others may have had for you begins to fade, replaced by caution and distance. Words meant to wound don't just harm relationships. They turn you into someone people avoid, as if you carry an emotional poison that no one wants near their heart. I've seen people who thrive on venomous speech, thinking it makes them powerful, only to find themselves lonely and embittered, surrounded by walls they've unknowingly built. It's important to remember that destructive words do not solve problems. They magnify them. They don't enhance your life. They shrink it, pulling you further from connection and peace. In moments of anger, it can feel tempting to let a harsh word slip, but think of the cost: the broken trust, the hurt feelings, and the burden of regret. A single careless sentence can unravel years of understanding and closeness. That's why choosing kind words is not just a courtesy, it's an act of strength and wisdom. As the old saying goes, a slip of the tongue can bring disaster. I believe this is a reminder to pause, breathe, and think before speaking. Imagine a world where everyone practiced this simple discipline. How much more love, respect, and harmony would exist? Kindness in speech is not just a gift to others. It's a gift to yourself, creating a life filled with warmth and goodwill rather than bitterness and regret. 5. Do not judge someone's family background. Have you ever paused to consider how none of us have the power to choose the circumstances we are born into? It's a profound truth that wealth, poverty, privilege, or hardship are all outcomes of fate, not personal choice. A person's upbringing may shape their journey, but it does not define their worth. What truly matters, what truly reveals the depth of someone's soul, is their character, their integrity, and their capacity for kindness. Wealth, no matter how vast, can be hollow if it resides in the hands of someone with a heart that is selfish and greedy. Imagine a mansion filled with treasures but devoid of compassion. It's nothing more than an empty shell. On the other hand, even someone with little to their name who extends a helping hand or offers a kind word can possess a wealth of spirit that no amount of money could ever buy. Isn't it remarkable how some of the most inspiring, resilient, and selfless people often come from the humblest of beginnings? Money is transient. It ebbs and flows like the tide. A person basking in wealth today may face the cruel sting of poverty tomorrow. This is why it is so dangerous to measure someone's value by their financial standing. To despise someone for their poverty or to idolize someone for their riches is to miss the essence of what makes us human. Wealth is fleeting, but a generous spirit, a kind heart, and unwavering integrity have an enduring impact. So, judge people not by the size of their bank account or the status of their family, but by how they treat others when no one is watching. True wealth lies in humility, compassion, and the ability to uplift those around us. Life has taught me this. It is the nobility of one's character that leaves a legacy, not the coins or bills they leave behind. Money fades, but the goodness of a person's heart echoes forever. Let us value what truly matters. 6. Do not scorn another's education or knowledge. Life is a tapestry woven from countless unique threads, each representing an individual's strengths and weaknesses. Just as you wouldn't put a fish against a cat in a swimming race or expect a turtle to match the speed of a rabbit, it's unfair and unwise to measure others by a single standard, especially when it comes to education and knowledge. True wisdom lies in understanding that education is not the ultimate yardstick of a person's value. A degree, title, or expertise may reflect one's accomplishments, but they cannot capture the richness of experience, the depth of character, or the kindness of spirit. Some of the most profound lessons come from the unlikeliest teachers, children, elders, or even those whom society overlooks. To look down on someone else's knowledge or education is to expose the cracks in your understanding. People who criticize or belittle others often carry the weight of their insecurities, projecting their fears outward. In contrast, truly wise individuals embrace humility. They recognize that no matter how much they know, there is always more to learn. The willingness to listen and the eagerness to learn are marks of a person who values growth over pride. Beware of falling into the trap of self-satisfaction, a dangerous place where you stop growing, stop questioning, and stop evolving. It's easy to criticize others, but that energy is better spent nurturing your growth. Instead of fixating on others' flaws or shortcomings, redirect that focus inward. Strive to improve yourself, treat others with respect, and extend kindness wherever you can. There is something deeply beautiful about a person who values others not for their accolades or achievements, but for their humanity. By respecting those around you and remaining curious about the world, you not only cultivate your growth but also earn the respect and admiration of those who witness your actions. Life is a journey of mutual learning. Embrace it with an open heart, and you'll discover wisdom in the most unexpected places. 7. Do not boast or exaggerate. It's tempting to boast or exaggerate in moments when we feel the need to prove our worth to others. But have you ever noticed how those who boast often gain fleeting admiration at best, only to lose respect over time? Boasting and exaggeration are like trying to wrap oneself in a veil of illusion. Beautiful at first glance, but eventually the fabric tears, revealing the truth underneath. Truth, no matter how deeply buried, has a way of surfacing, much like a needle hidden in a bag that eventually pokes through. At first, people might be drawn to the grandeur of exaggerated words, but with time, the facade crumbles. Those who once listened with admiration may turn away, their trust broken, their perception of you diminished. Trust once lost is so hard to rebuild. As someone who values the weight of authenticity, I've always believed that the loudest truths are spoken through actions, not words. A quiet, consistent display of character and results can echo louder than the grandest of claims. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who quietly achieved greatness? Their success doesn't need a spotlight because their work speaks for itself. Truly wise individuals never feel the need to shout their worth. They let their accomplishments stand tall, unshaken by the winds of doubt or the scrutiny of others. They remind me of the earth itself, silent, grounded, and yet so eloquent in the way it supports all life. In a world that often celebrates loudness and glitter, it takes courage to embrace quiet confidence. When you focus on doing rather than talking, you cultivate respect that lasts. People start to notice not because you tell them, but because your deeds demand recognition. And isn't that the kind of respect we all long for? The kind that comes from what we genuinely earn? So, if you ever feel the urge to boast, pause and ask yourself, what am I truly seeking? If it's validation, remember that success itself is the best answer. Let your actions do the talking. Let your work shine so brightly that words become unnecessary. Authenticity, after all, is the greatest gift you can offer the world, and yourself. 8. Do not waste effort explaining your sincerity to those who won't understand. Life often feels like a vast, winding road where not everyone we encounter will see the world as we do, nor will they always walk beside us in harmony. It can be deeply disheartening to pour your sincerity into someone, only to find it dismissed, ignored, or misunderstood. But here's a truth that may feel both liberating and painful. Not everyone is meant to understand you, and that's okay. Those who truly care for you, those who value the essence of who you are, will never demand lengthy explanations. They see your heart through your actions, your kindness, and the way you show up in the world. On the other hand, those unwilling or unable to understand will remain closed off, no matter how desperately you try to bridge the gap. Words fall on deaf ears when the heart refuses to listen. Instead of wasting your precious energy trying to win over people who misunderstand you, focus on living with unshakable integrity. Let your actions speak louder than words ever could. Over time, the truth has a way of shining through, often more brightly than we imagine. And when it does, those who doubted you may see their misconceptions in a new light, or they may not. Either way, you remain steadfast, unbothered by their judgment. When faced with misunderstanding, choose calm over conflict. Hold on to your inner peace like a treasure that cannot be taken. Silence in those moments isn't weakness. It's strength, a quiet, dignified strength that says, I know who I am, and I don't need your approval to validate it. There's immense power in refusing to be pulled into unnecessary battles, in staying rooted in your values, even when others don't recognize their worth. In the end, life will always test your patience, your resilience, and your ability to let go of what you cannot control. But it will also reward you with the gift of self-respect and serenity if you learn this lesson. Your worth doesn't depend on anyone's understanding but your own. Trust that the right people, the ones meant to walk your path, will always see the beauty of your sincerity without you needing to explain a single word. 9. Do not make unnecessary requests of others. Life is a delicate balancing act, where each person carries their unique responsibilities, struggles, and aspirations. When we repeatedly impose our needs on others without true necessity, we unknowingly place a burden on their shoulders and risk wearing down the bond we share. Over time, even the most patient and caring individuals may begin to feel taken for granted, and the connection that once felt unshakable might quietly erode. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Relying on others too often doesn't just strain relationships, it can also chip away at your self-worth. True love and care manifest when people willingly lend a hand in moments of genuine need. That doesn't mean we should test their limits by leaning on them for every small thing. The beauty of receiving help lies in its sincerity, and that beauty fades when it's taken for granted. To foster enduring relationships, we must prioritize self-reliance. When you take the initiative to handle what you can on your own, it's empowering, not only for yourself but also for those around you. You're showing them that you value their time, and you're also nurturing a sense of accomplishment within yourself. True independence is a quiet triumph, one that inspires respect and admiration from others. Words are mirrors of the heart. There's an unspoken truth about words. They reveal the depth of our soul. The ancient Roman writer Publilius Cyrus famously said, "Speech is the mirror of the soul." How often do we pause to consider how our words shape the world around us? The way we communicate daily, whether harshly, thoughtlessly, or with warmth and grace, serves as a reflection of who we truly are. Those who are wise and kind use their words sparingly, choosing instead to infuse them with meaning and beauty. A single kind word can light up someone's heart, while harsh speech can leave scars that linger for years. Beautiful words cost us nothing but bring immeasurable joy to others. And when we cannot muster kindness, silence becomes a powerful ally. Silence, when practiced with intention, becomes a shield against conflict and a gateway to deeper understanding. In the quiet, we hear not only the voices of others but also the whispers of our hearts. Choosing when to speak and when to listen is an art that brings peace, both to our inner world and to our relationships. A personal note to you, my dear viewers. Life often feels like a relentless upstream journey, where each stroke of the oar brings us face to face with challenges that seem insurmountable. The winds of hardship may howl, and the waves may threaten to capsize us, but here's a truth I've learned with time. You don't have to fight every current. As we grow older, we realize that some battles are best left unfought. Instead, we slow down, embrace the rhythm of life, and learn to let go of what we cannot control. There's an indescribable peace in this surrender, a warmth that comes from treating yourself with the same kindness you've always extended to others. Here are 5 key reminders for finding peace and health in your golden years. 1. Keep your ears quiet. In the Analects of Confucius, there is a profound saying, "At 60, I could hear without being upset." These simple yet powerful words carry a lifetime of wisdom. By the time you reach 60, you've traversed life's tumultuous waves, experiencing joy, sorrow, triumph, and failure. These years shape you, teaching you to distinguish between what truly matters and what is mere noise. You begin to understand that not every word spoken deserves your attention or reaction. In youth, our ears often act as an open door, letting in everything: praise, criticism, gossip, and insult. The sting of a careless remark could easily ignite anger or leave us feeling wounded. How many sleepless nights were wasted replaying harsh words or imagining conversations that never truly mattered? Yet, as we grow older and wiser, we discover the profound strength of selective hearing. We learn to listen to words of kindness and wisdom while letting baseless criticism or envious remarks fade into silence. Life is too short, too precious, to be distracted by the noise of petty opinions or harmful gossip. When we allow such negativity to take root in our minds, it robs us of peace, joy, and even our health. Choosing silence in the face of provocation is not weakness. It is a quiet triumph, a testament to the resilience of a calm heart. Now, I see this lesson not as a restriction but as liberation. Keeping your ears quiet means reclaiming your focus and protecting your inner sanctuary. It means recognizing that what others say about you often reveals more about them than it does about you. When we stop letting irrelevant words invade our peace, we discover a serenity we may not have known was possible. Imagine a still lake. Its surface reflects the sky perfectly, unmarred by ripples or disturbance. This is the gift of a quiet heart. When your soul is undisturbed by unnecessary noise, the world around you feels surprisingly beautiful. Conversations become richer, relationships more meaningful, and small joys more profound because your attention is no longer consumed by what doesn't matter. I find myself reminded daily of the freedom this wisdom brings. It is a form of self-care and self-respect, a gentle reminder that we are the guardians of our peace. So, keep your ears quiet, not out of indifference, but out of love for the tranquility and clarity that life can offer when you tune out the noise. Let the world's chaos flow past you, and you'll be left with the music of a life well lived. 2. View life with a tolerant eye. Confucius once shared a profound truth. The wise seek harmony but do not necessarily conform. This wisdom reminds us that every person carries their dreams, values, and choices, woven into the unique fabric of their lives. The key to inner peace is learning to embrace this diversity without forcing our beliefs or standards onto others. When we are young, our impatience and expectations can lead to frustration when the world doesn't align with our ideals. It's easy to believe our way is the right way, but as time passes, life teaches us a humbling lesson. No two journeys are the same. By opening our hearts and minds to the rich variety of human experiences, We lighten the emotional weight we carry and create space for empathy and understanding. Cultivating tolerance is like planting seeds of joy and gratitude in your soul. Instead of dwelling on the flaws or negatives around you, make a conscious effort to see the beauty that surrounds you. When you pause to admire the simple elegance of green leaves swaying in the breeze or the vibrant hues of red flowers, you're reminded of the world's quiet miracles. These moments of appreciation fill you with gratitude, uplifting your spirit and helping you see life in its true, radiant form. Tolerance isn't just about others. It's about your peace. By letting go of judgment and embracing acceptance, you create a life that feels lighter, freer, and full of beauty. In this practice, you don't just coexist, you thrive. 3. Value your meals and care for yourself. There's a timeless truth in the saying, being able to eat is a blessing. For older individuals, the joy of a delicious meal is one of life's simplest yet most profound pleasures. It's not just about nourishment. It's about honoring the body that has carried you through decades of challenges, triumphs, and experiences. Food, in its humble way, becomes a celebration of life, a reminder that even the small, everyday acts hold extraordinary meaning. As we age, it's easy to fall into the trap of excessive frugality, prioritizing saving over self-care. But what good is wealth if your health deteriorates? No amount of money can buy back the vitality and comfort you lose by neglecting yourself. You deserve better than that. You've spent years caring for others, meeting responsibilities, and sacrificing your needs. Isn't it time to give yourself the love and attention you so freely gave to others? Anxiety, worry, or stress can be silent thieves of our joy, and even our appetite. Skipping meals or treating food as an afterthought harms more than just the body. It robs the soul of moments of connection, gratitude, and fulfillment. Each bite you take is an act of self-compassion, a promise to yourself that you're worth caring for, and that your presence in this world matters. So, take a moment to savor your meals. Feel the textures, enjoy the flavors, and let the experience remind you of the beauty in the present moment. Life may not always be grand or extraordinary, but a well-cooked meal enjoyed in peace can be. Eating well is not just a necessity, it's an act of gratitude for life itself. Cherish your meals as gifts. Treat yourself with kindness. Live in the now, because these small acts of care add up to a graceful and fulfilling old age. In the end, it's not about how much you've saved or sacrificed. It's about how much you've truly lived and loved yourself along the way. 4. Maintain health by exercising daily. There's an old and wise saying, flowing water does not rot, a constantly turned axle does not get eaten by worms. This simple yet profound metaphor speaks to the natural vitality that movement sustains, reminding us that when water flows, it remains pure and fresh, and when an axle turns, it avoids decay. The human body is no different. With consistent exercise, we nurture flexibility, strength, and vitality, defying the stagnation that can creep in as we age. Exercise is more than just a physical activity. It's a celebration of life. No matter your age, movement unlocks countless benefits that extend far beyond the body. It energizes the mind, uplifts the spirit, and reminds you of the resilience within. In their 70s or 80s, some people embrace the joy of a morning jog, the tranquility of yoga, or the rhythm of a daily walk. These individuals radiate a vitality that inspires, proving that age is not a barrier but a testament to the strength of will and habit. On the other hand, those who abandon movement often find themselves confined to their beds, their bodies stiffened by inactivity, and their lives limited by the absence of action. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's never too late to begin. Start small, perhaps with a gentle stretch, a short stroll around the block, or even a few minutes of deep breathing paired with simple movements. Each drop of sweat becomes a powerful antidote to aging, an elixir that revitalizes your energy and protects your health. As you move, you're not just strengthening your muscles. You're choosing vitality over stagnation, joy over lethargy, and independence over frailty. I truly believe that every step, stretch, or lift is an act of self-love. It's a way of saying, I deserve to feel alive, strong, and capable. Exercise is a gift we give ourselves, a daily reminder that our bodies are temples worth cherishing. So today, move for your future self, for the joy, health, and energy that await you tomorrow and for the years to come. 5. Keep your emotions stable and your mind calm. Life is unpredictable, often veering far from the plans we so carefully lay out. But isn't that part of its mystery and beauty? Yet, when faced with hardships, it's easy to find ourselves trapped in a whirlwind of negative emotions that gnaw away at both our physical health and inner peace. Those emotions may feel overwhelming now, but remember this: everything, absolutely everything, passes with time. What feels insurmountable today may be nothing more than a faint memory tomorrow. I deeply believe that one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the ability to let go. Letting go doesn't mean you ignore challenges or pretend life is perfect. It means you refuse to let those moments define your happiness. Adopting a lighter, more joyful attitude isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Imagine waking up each day with a heart unburdened, ready to embrace the simple joys around you. That, I think, is the secret to savoring the rest of your life. There's a beautiful saying, time cannot be pursued, nor can the years be stopped. It's a humbling reminder that the clock never pauses. Why waste your precious energy on trivial matters that won't even matter a year from now? Instead, focus on the true treasures of this stage of life: your health, your emotional balance, and your inner peace. These aren't just nice ideals. They're lifelines to living a meaningful, fulfilled existence. Cherish yourself in this season of life. Slow down and truly feel the moment: the sunlight on your face, the laughter of a loved one, the quiet stillness of a peaceful evening. The past, no matter how bittersweet, is unchangeable. But right now, in this very moment, you hold the power to shape your experience. Choose peace. Choose joy. Choose a life that radiates from the inside out. I believe in you and the strength you hold within to create this life for yourself. You are deserving of happiness, not just as an abstract concept, but as a daily reality. So, take a deep breath, let go of the unnecessary, and embrace the beautiful time you have left. I'm cheering for you every step of the way. So, what have you learned from everything we've shared today? Reflect on the wisdom of staying calm, letting go, and embracing joy in the present moment. What resonated with you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below and share one thing you've learned from this video that you will bring into practice in your own life. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to continue this journey of wisdom and growth together. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Sparkling Heart.